Today we're going to review creating the screw for the gear puller hook. If you look at your working drawing, you'll see that it's made up of 5 different parts. The knob, the cylinder that connects the knob to the threaded section, and then the cylinder that connects the threaded section to the cone. So we're going to start out by just making those 5 pieces. To make the knob, I'm just going to switch into one of the side views. And looking at the working drawing, it gives me the sizes of the square that I would use to create that. And it also gives us the length that we would extrude that. It also tells us that it's rotated 45 degrees. So there's the knob, or the end of the gear puller screw that I will put a wrench on and to be able to use this tool. The next thing that we have is a cylinder that just connects the knob to the threaded section. So I'm just going to make that. It's just the same size as the outside diameter of our threads. Extruded just 1/4 of an inch. We can figure that out by doing some addition and subtraction. With our working drawings. So now I've got the knob and the cylinder that connects them. The next thing I'm going to create is the threaded section for the screw itself. So to do that, I'm just going to go to my fastener tool set, my fastener tool, use a set screw, make sure that I have 3D selected, and I'm just going to clip one in here on my page. Now that's facing the wrong way. I want the tapered end to be facing over here to the right, so I'm going to rotate that whole thing to the left, and now I'm just going to check a couple of things. I'm going to make sure that the size of that is the 1/2 inch size set screw. And this one happened to default to that. If yours is different, you'll just change the size right there. To save some time for right now, I'm just going to uncheck show threads, and I'm going to uncheck standard length increments, because I'm going to make this length 7 inches long. Now, on the working drawing, it says that the threaded section is 5 3/4 inches. So if I set this to 5 3/4, I would still have the slotted end and I'd have the tapered end, which I don't want for this project. So all I'm going to do is go into the side view, and I'm going to draw a square that's bigger than the diameter of the screw. So this really doesn't matter what size that is as long as it's larger. I'm just going to use 1 inch and 1 inch. And I'm going to extrude that 5 3/4 inches. That's how long it says that the screw section should be. Now when I intersect those, after I align them center, I'll align them center in the side view. I'll align them center in the front view. And you see that that's only going to give me the threaded section 5 3/4 inches long when I intersect those. Before I intersect them, I need to remember to turn the threads back on. That'll slow things down a little bit, but we need those on, otherwise it would just look like a cylinder, an extruded cylinder. Now I'll take those 2 pieces and just intersect solids. And the only area that's left is the area that was common to both pieces. You can see now I've got my threaded section, which I'm just going to make green for now. I've got my threaded section right there. So now I've got the cylinder that's going to connect that to the knob. I'll put those all in place later. There's another cylinder that connects the threaded section to the cone at the end. And that is just a simple cylinder. Again, the sizes are on your working drawing. And then the last piece we need for this is just the cone. Now to do that cone, there's a video that reviews that, and a video that you'll need to use to cut the tapered 30-degree angle on the end of the knob. But I'm going to produce a cone right now because we need it for this project. The cone itself is 3/16 of an inch tall, so I'm just going to draw a polyline that's 3/16 of an inch tall. And it doesn't give us a diameter for the base of the cone. It just tells us that this goes down at 30 degrees. So I'm going to do 90 plus 30 is 120 degrees. That's the size of the cone right there. To finish that cone up, all I'm going to do is put in a locust point and sweep it. Rotate it to the right. And now I've got all 5 pieces for the screw assembly. Now let's just put them in place where they go. There's 2 ways to do that. One would be mathematically move them. After we align distribute, I'm going to align distribute on the left edge and center in this view. In the side view, I'm going to align distribute center center. And now I've got all those pieces all drawn right here. If I were going to align them mathematically, all I would do is take the 4 pieces, and I could move then the extrusion size of this knob. Then I would take the threaded section, the cone, and the small cylinder and move them to the right, the extruded size of that first cylinder. So I could move them right down the page like that. An even easier way to do that for the alignment is to just draw some lines and lock those. Once I lock those, I can take all these pieces and just align them to the left edge. Just like that. That moved everything to this left edge. Now, all I'm going to do from this larger cylinder right here is the same thing. I'm going to lock a line, and I'm going to move the threaded section, the cone, and the smaller cylinder to the left edge of that lock line. Now that threaded section is in place right where we need it to be, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw one more line, lock it, the small cylinder and the cone will be aligned to that left edge. One more line will do it. all the lines that I use for the alignment, I can unlock. Delete. And now I've got my screw all ready to go to be added together. There's a separate video that goes over cutting the tapered end on the knob to help you get that finished up. So use that video to create the cutting tool and cut that end on there. That's how we'll create that screw assembly for the gear puller hook.